best is yet to come. We see both of the players here. They look ready to go, and we are ready to go into a new section, 3+1. So obviously a lot faster, shaving 2 minutes off the clock for each. I can't say that I've noticed time being a real significant factor for either one of the players. So I think both are probably just excited to get into that time control that they're most familiar with, that they've certainly played a lot more. We're jumping into a Sicilian, and knight takes c6, bc6 by Magnus Carlsen with the black piece. Sort of a Taimanov that we have here after a4. I'm imagining that, allowing a5 is quite the decision. Usually you go for it, but bishop b4 is an idea that black has to chase down the a pawn. So looking like a pretty nice idea from Fabi. Maybe it needs more support though with bishop d2, so that bishop b4 is not that strong.
All right. Well opened in the 3-1 segment, sir.
It's a new segment for us all. Just bringing us in, Danny. You know me, ever the monologuer.
Ever the monologuer. Wow. They
call me a monologuer. Is that what you would say there, Danny?
There you go. Well, we've got you monologued well, right? You described exactly what the stakes are, and with the faster time control, 2 minutes less to start each game for both players. Looks like we're already in time pressure. Not quite, but here goes Fabi with a plan to bring the knight over to the king side. I like White's chances in this first game. I kind of prefer White here.
Yeah, the thing about White is, I guess it's comfortable to know you have that plan. A5, maybe b4, but from Black's perspective, you don't have to allow it. Now c5 is quite drastic. I was wondering maybe like knight d7, and then maybe if b4, perhaps then c5, because you kind of have some tension to play for. Here, you're playing c5 without maybe b4, and it gives an extra opportunity to Fabi to play c4. It seems like, let's say, a bad move. You're blocking in your own bishop, but guess what? You're highlighting, going straight there. Knight to c3, knight to d5, and that knight is going to get there before the knight on f6 ever makes it to the d4 square.
Yep. I was going to say, that's exactly the point, is that in order to get to d4, the square that is begging for a piece to occupy it, you are a long journey away. But White is very quickly popping into the d5 square. So this is why White's edge exists. And then, okay, but going for this f4 square is a nice little sort of counter, not quite outpost. Still White is to be preferred, though.
Yeah, I'm thinking no matter how the recapture is done here, that likely this bishop wants to make the appearance on d6. However, if e takes, you would have to watch out for the h7. H7 pawn, I think c takes makes more sense, because with the a pawn on a5, there's no way to sort of permanently guard the c pawn.
Yeah, highlighting, as you said it, that b pawn is a backward pawn. That a5 pawn kind of dominates both of them on the a and b files. So White's edge there is very real. You're going to bring another rook over. You might take on d3, you might not. If you don't, I can back it up to f1 and then kick your pony down the road. So I actually think that Fabi is in control here. He already got his first win, so no more diamond memberships. Again, I'm glad we all shamed Sean Chess, but shout out to the member that did actually win the 1-year diamond membership. Not our staff member, Sean.
Yeah, we got the right person, their membership eventually. Magnus, I'm just going to say it, he's just suffering. This is not a good position. I was wondering whether the rook should have moved. My preference probably would have been on the previous move to play like rook d1 or something, so that I could react to queen g6 with bishop back to f1. I'm not a fan of the opposite bishops, and what we're seeing here might still be in White's favor, Danny, but really do not think that Fabi maximized.
I totally agree. And f3 is just such a nice practical shot. Note that you don't want to take with the queen because you lose e5, so you have to take with the pawn to maintain your edge. And yes, White is better, right? We agree with the computer there, but now you've got an open king. The long-term feature of the obstacle bishops could get dangerous if you mess up and the dark squares become a problem. So I like Fabi, but I think that Magnus found the best way to mix this up. Wow.
So
look at that.
I think there was basically if you can achieve f4, it should be quite good. There's queen e3, queen g3 next. This is highly concerning, probably objectively just lost straight up. F4 really connects the pawns. So it's possible this is actually just a lot better than I gave it credit for, which again speaks to Fabi just kind of surgically approaching the position, because pawns coming to d6, like this is looking phenomenal.
Yeah, and that rook a3, well timed. To your point, you could play d6 now. You could wait on d6. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
Okay, you go for it, and maybe getting the bishop off of a5 is nice because then it frees your rook to move over. So perhaps d6 now was exactly what the doctor ordered. Magnus is probably considering whether he should. I was going to say he's considering whether he's just going to give up the bishop. That's like how bad the position is.
It's such a brutal spot to be in because you can't play bishop b8 because the reality is, Danny, you're going to have to sack eventually. So he gets it out of the way, but it's clearly annoying. Like this is not what he wanted to do, and the king now has the f1 square. I know it doesn't seem like it matters, but it allows for rook f3 to happen easier. Yeah. And yeah, you're just piling up on this f pawn. So let's see what he can do.
A little bit of a tickle there from Magnus, but okay, now I think he'll offer the queen trade on e1 the next time he gets it, indeed. Because if you take b2, okay, well, I assumed it was just like, mate, I said I was about to say if you take b2, you're going to lose, but okay, he does it anyway.
I mean, he will definitely lose here, but maybe not by force. Let's say rook f8 and queen f6, like something like this. But the reality is if everything gets traded, bishop d5, bishop takes b7, bishop takes a6 will win.
Yeah, the extra piece is exactly what you need, and the pawns already being stuck to light squares just makes your job easy. So bishop d5. Fabi is on path to getting his second win. If you take a5, you're going to get mated on the light squares with queen e8 and bishop e4. So Magnus really is just busted here, and okay, I think this is great. We still have a close match. Okay, well, Magnus is not presiding.
There's no real threats because the squares are all covered, like that long diagonal checks, that they're all covered by the bishop. And I understand why he's playing on here, but okay, that should probably seal it because the queen h6 and bishop d5, and that is honestly a pretty